Don't miss any of the action at Oceanside, Chula Vista, Torrey Pines, and many more San Diego schools. Download the free UT Preps app on Google Play or the Apple App Store.
Welcome back inside Canyonside Baseball and Softball Academy. Tommy, David, and Christian here to bring you our top 10s, our game balls, our fair or foul, and our all-stars so far in this baseball season. It's gonna be a good episode, guys.
I'm excited to see who you guys picked in that draft.
Oh yeah, I should mention that as well. David and I drafted a team, so don't freak out if you're not on one of the teams and you're on the other one. It's not like we didn't want to have the same team. So we did a draft, and it is based off of this year's statistics and performance, not overall or not college perspective, just this year. So
it was hard. You guys were sweating bullets picking those kids.
It took me a while for sure.
Definitely.
That's the biggest draft that's going to happen this week.
For sure.
Absolutely.
I haven't heard of any other drafts this week. No, nothing else. Nothing comes to mind. Anyway, we got to start with our top 10. Dave, who do you have?
All right, number 1, again, LCC, Eastlake. Number 2, RB at 3, Granite Hills at 4, Cathedral 5, Vista at 6. I'm going to move Santana up to 7, give him a little credit this week. 8, Torrey Pines. 9, Poway, after beating Torrey Pines last week. And Grossmont 10, after some good baseball last 2 weeks. They've been playing real solid.
And here's my top 10 going from 10 to 1. I agree with you. Poway back in the top 10 now after taking 2 of 3 from Torrey Pines. Then I've got Carlsbad, Torrey Pines there at 8. Cathedral at 7. Santana at 6 for me. 5 Granite Hills. 4 RB. 3 Vista. I don't know how to count anymore, guys. 3 is Vista. 2 is LCC. And I've still got Eastlake at my number 1 spot. Christian, what do you think about those two lists?
I think that it's interesting with Poway to see that they are sort of living the motto of play your best baseball at the end of the season. Slow out of the gates, but as long as they keep winning later and later into the year, we're going to see them keep on rising. And that's really what you want a team to do. You don't need to come hot out of the start. Also think it's interesting that Santana has kind of been up there now for a couple of weeks, considering that of all the teams that we've put in and out of the top 10, they are perhaps lower down in the division wise than the average team we've seen up there this year.
They just keep winning. Hard to take them out of the top 10.
Just win, baby.
Just keep winning, good things happen. So we got to get our game balls. Who are some guys who are helping their teams win, Christian?
I'm going to start with a very special set of game balls. These are Petco game balls. Ooh. Because if you do something big in Petco as a high school kid, that's worthy of like a golden game ball. We're going to start with Josh Lucero from Lincoln. He was 1 for 3 with the game-winning RBI for Lincoln to beat El Cajon Valley. Congratulations, Josh. I always love a kid with a clutch hit, especially since I couldn't get any as a player. Moving on, Bryson Spagnolo from Fallbrook. Get this stat line: 6 innings pitched, 11 Ks, 1 walk, 5 hits, 0 runs versus Mission Vista in Petco. Huge day for him there.
And if I can cut in real quick, he's a kid we had on the TV show, so if you want to see the interview with him, jump on our website. Quick little plug there.
Absolutely, yeah. Then Aaron Barkley and Randy Jewell from West Hills. They were taken on Monte Vista, who they had just lost to last week. They come back. They each get an RBI in the 11th. This game was 0-0 into the 11th. Couple big hits there for them. So game balls for them. Outside of Petco, we're going to give one to Nathan Walker from Carlsbad. He goes 5 innings, gets the W against Sage Creek in the first ever Mayor's Cup. It's a new rivalry that they're trying to build there crosstown between.
That was a closer game than I think a lot of people thought as well.
Oh, I mean, you want to talk about a great way to start up a rivalry, give it some hype. That's what you want to do. See a pitcher's duel with some back and forth there. And then we'll go with Mitchell Sardo from Point Loma, CG 4-hit shutout against Mission Bay. That'll round out my game balls.
Mr. Ring, who do you have?
All right, first game ball of the week goes to Andy Simo, sophomore catcher at Bishops. He went 2 for 4 against La Jolla Country Day, and he's hitting a whopping .453 at this point in the season. That is pretty good. Quality at bats, I bet. And my last game ball goes to Brandon Fregoso, junior pitcher and hitter over at Kearney. He's currently at 187 as his ERA, and he's got 27 hits at this point in the season, which is top in the county, the .435 batting average. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, I got to give a quick shout out to Jacob Redondo, also from Kearney, who threw a no-hitter as a freshman, guys. As a freshman.
Welcome to the league.
I know. So going on from our game balls to our fair or foul segment, our big debate, controversial discussion, we're going to start with you, Christian. We're going to start in Division 4. Sweetwater's currently the #1 power rated team. They are the team to beat in Division 4. What do you think? Fair or foul?
I'll say fair. We're closing in on the last couple weeks of the season now, and enough games have been played that we're sort of getting a really accurate picture of who goes where. Perhaps there is some leeway between, you know, the first and the third teams, the fifth and the eighth teams. There's some back and forth, but right now, any team that holds that #1 seeding is the team to beat. You just have to say outright, if they are the #1 team to beat, or if they are the #1 team, they're the team to beat. If Sweetwater loses a game or two in the next 2 weeks, drops into second, they stop being the team to beat. I think that one of the things we see with baseball all the time is that it's kind of that revolving door of there's a new target on somebody's back every week. And right now, Sweetwater does have that as the top team in Division 4.
Dave, fair or foul, Sweetwater?
I've got a couple teams that are very competitive in that league. I've got Bishops is right up there. They've got a pitcher named Robbie Schreiber. He's got 5 wins and a .55 ERA. So if they were to face a team like Sweetwater and a guy like that's pitching,
Yeah, don't interpret what I'm saying
down.
as discrediting any of the teams
Yeah,
behind
totally.
it. But to me, anybody who has that #1 rating, LCC for you, Eastlake for you, those are the teams to beat.
Right.
More than Rancho Bernardo or Santana or Torrey Pines, who are still teams worth beating, but not the team to beat.
and I'm going to tell you the team to beat in this division.
Lay it on me.
It's Claremont. Sneaky team. Michael Jarvis is going off at the plate. And what's most impressive is they got 2 starting pitchers that are dominating right now. Josh Pizzo has 4 wins, 2.3 ERA, and Parker Phillips with 5 wins at a 1.48 ERA. So I'm going to go with them as my #1 contenders in this division because of their pitching.
I'd like seeing a Claremont Sweetwater title game. That'd be a fun little showdown.
Yeah, Claremont's having a good year this year, so we're going to see those guys get to the finals. Another team having a good year, maybe a little under the radar, which is hard to do at 18-2. Escondido's 18-2. So, Dave, we'll start with you. Escondido's not getting enough recognition this year. Fair or foul?
I'm going to say fair. A lot of my top 10 guys, I look at strength of schedule, I look at the teams they're playing, I look at the matchups, and I kind of base, a lot of my top 10 on strength of schedule. So when you look at Escondido's schedule, it's not as tough as a lot of teams. They've got an 18-2 record, which congrats to you guys, it's an amazing record. Once they start giving me some good wins against some of those tougher teams, I'll give them that credit for sure.
If you're asking me the question is, do they deserve more credit? I'm going to say foul. Who have they beat? And this is not to discredit wins. 18 wins is great. Any team that can win over double digits that's a good season. It's hard to win a game at any varsity level. But if we're talking about lauding a bunch of praise on them for, wow, these kids are running away with a great season, then you have to start getting into the nitty-gritty of, well, what marquee wins have they had? What walk-off against a top 10 team have they had? What road wins? And their Max Prep strength of schedule is like a 1.4, so it's sub
like
2.
1.8,
Something below 2,
Yeah.
which immediately to me raises that red flag in terms of if I'm trying to say, give them a bunch of praise. I think that we could be seeing them maybe just in a situation where they just didn't expect to have this kind of talent, didn't schedule themselves as aggressively as they could, and they might actually deserve it. But I'm going to hold off on giving them a bunch of praise until we see them into playoffs, maybe messing around with a little bit of actual significant wins.
Yeah, but hey, in my opinion, 18-2, nothing to sneeze at. Again, kind of hard to judge how good they are because they're not playing some of the same teams that the other guys in the top 10 are. But I'm going to keep them on my radar. I'll give them that. So our final segment, normally for the past we've been doing best players of position, but we run out of position. So now we decided to have a little draft, an all-star game. If there theoretically was one, this would be right around what the all-star break would be. So Dave and I both have our teams. Would you like to do the honors of revealing your all-star team?
I would. This was a lot of fun. All right. This is my draft. All right.
Can we start with who was the first overall pick for your team, please?
I had the first pick overall, so
The first pick for your team.
Okay.
The first pick for my team was Michael Jarvis at Claremont. He was, he's up there and hits for the for the county, hitting .423, so I picked him at shortstop first. My pitchers were some of my next picks, so I'll let you in on those. Jack Dashwood at St. Augustine, Josh Sidney, and Kevin Abel. Kevin Abel's got a .48 ERA currently. Rounding out the infield here, catching Max Owens at UC, hitting .421. First base, Chase Wesner at Christian, hitting .475. CJ Hunt will play second base for me, and he's got 27 stolen bases. Ooh. So most likely you'd be leading off. Next, like I said, I got Michael Jarvis at short. Cole Mueller's my third baseman. He's at Cathedral Catholic. And in the outfield, I got Matt Rudick at Scripps, Calvin Ferris at Grossmont, and Tora Otska at RB, who's sitting at 4 home runs now. He's a fast center fielder. He would probably be my number 2 hitter.
And I was a little bummed you took Ferris because I wanted him on the mound, but you took him for the outfield, but that's okay. Moving on to mine. I will do this. You know, I didn't do it in order of lineup, but I kind of want to. I think I'm going to just make
Lay it on
us right now. So leading off for me would be Nick Allen from Francis Parker at shortstop. He's got 27 stolen bases as well. Hitting second would be Andrew Shablowski from Madison. Having a good year. He's going to be at St. Mary's next year. My 3 hitter, my number 1 overall pick. No surprise, Mickey Moniak from Acosta Canyon. He's got a lot of great stats, guys, but my favorite one is 9 triples.
It's the most exciting play in baseball.
That's tough to do.
You can run.
You can run. My number 4 hitter is the guy who's leading the county in home runs. Another gaudy number 10 of them for Calvin Mitchell from Rancho Bernardo. Hitting 5th to me, Trevin Esquera. He's going to go to LMU next year. He just recently signed, so congratulations to him. He's got some pretty big numbers as well. My 6th hitter is going to be Lewis Butler, second baseman from Hoover. Getting on base, guys. On base percentage, 670. He's getting on base 2 out of 3 times. I know.
And he can swipe some backs too. He's got a little bit of speed himself. So a 6 hitter that can get on base and steal. Oof.
Sounds like a pain.
Then hitting 7th for me would be Connor McKenna. 8th would be Ryan Orr. So now I got Connor McKenna, by the way, third base. Ryan Orr, catcher from Carlsbad and LCC, respectively. And then my pitching staff. So who would hit 9th? I'm going to go with Zach Seegers from Mira Mesa, having a fantastic season. George Chapman from Oceanside, another guy maybe not getting as much recognition, but he probably should. Great pitcher. And then all the way out of Ramona, Dylan Spacky. Have we decided on that? One of the 2.
One of the 2.
That is my third and final
It's a good
pitcher.
rotation.
That's who I got.
I had no one left to pick on my team. Now, I love a lot of things that you guys are talking about on both of these teams. One thing I really like is just general athleticism. We're not talking about one-tool players in many of these positions. You're talking about guys who are getting on base and stealing, hitting home runs and high average. It's really cool to see the fact that we can pick 2 full teams of kids who really manifest what you look for in a baseball player, and that's somebody who is diverse, who is capable of. We're talking about Calvin Ferris going pitcher versus outfield. It's really awesome to see that. I think that this would be a great 7-game series, and I'm not going to get in any sort of battle by picking.
Oh, come on. But you guys can.
But you guys can. Let us know.
Go ahead and tweet at us whose team you think would win, my team or Dave's.
Can I say one other thing?
Yeah.
I'm really glad that neither of you guys picked a DH. I like that the NL influence is here, and you're going to let your pitchers hit.
All my pitchers can hit.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Let's go. Some offensive fireworks there.
Right? I'm going to let my pitchers hit as well. So again, if you have anyone you think we missed, or just let us know whose team you think is better, go ahead and tweet us at SDPrepInsider. Be as nice or as mean as you want. We can take it. We're
grown men.
We're grown men. We can take it. And we will see you all next week.